Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. The card of Temperance, also called the Art card. I think you're somebody who is, I think you're trying to find a balance in life. I think you're somebody that wants to work hard but wants to play hard. You like a challenge, but you also like ease, you know? I think that you have a lot of different faces that you present to the world, you know? I think that you're somebody, too, that can really adapt to any situation. I think that you're just as comfortable, you know, in a fine dining restaurant as you are in a backyard barbecue, right? You're just as confident in, I don't know, in the boardroom of the company, right, with the CEO, as you are, you know, in just, you know, I don't know, playing ball in the backyard with your family, you know, that kind of thing. So I feel like you have a lot of experience. You've been through so much in your life that you probably have a lot of stories to tell. You're someone with a lot of recipes collected in a big binder. You know how my mom has a binder just full of recipes from her entire life, from when she was a kid, passed on to her, and things that she's acquired, right? It's just it's a whole book of life. Yeah. And I feel like you're somebody that's collected a lot of life over the years. Maybe you're still really young. Maybe you're a teenager. Maybe you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, like I am. Or you are, you know, in your hundreds even. I feel like you have a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, a lot of things to share. You kind of, I don't know, it's almost as if anybody has a problem, you say, you know what, I've got a recipe for that. You know, you kind of already know how to do a lot of things. Well, let's put this card into some context, right? Sometimes this is a card, too, that says you've been in the pressure cooker, okay? And maybe lately it's felt that things have been too hard. Yeah. This is the card of Temperance. It's something that tempers you. It's something that sort of strengthens you. It's the furnace, right? It's the kitchen. It's the pressure cooker. Let's see what else is going on here. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. Next card, Hanged Man. A baptism by water. Well, isn't that what you need to do when you're trying to forge some steel and it's in the fire, and you take it out of the fire and you bang it around and you put it back in the fire some more? Then eventually it has to go in the cool water to really crystallize and solidify that new, stronger structure. So the Hanged Man in this case, I think, is you're sort of, by the looks of this card, you're sort of stretched at your ease, right? I think this is that cooling and refreshing water that you need after having been in the pressure cooker for a long time. It's time to cool off. I think your life is going to get so much better, so much easier now, right? You have to allow it. You have to accept it. You have to allow the Hanged Man to sort of enjoy this, to accept this process, okay? So with these two cards together, I know I'm spending a lot of time on these first two cards, but being in the pressure cooker, you have to allow yourself to be taken out and to be refreshed and restored, to rest, relax, and recuperate. You're someone that is like, no, send me back in. No. Accept this moment to recuperate and to restore and to refresh yourself. Okay, let's continue. There's the Magician. Seven of Wands, sure. Okay. That's a Knight of Swords and a Six of Swords. Okay. Yeah, it's all part of the plan, see. You have a difficult time accepting being taken out of the game. Well, you're being taken out of the game. You're being put on bed rest. You're being put, the coach is saying you got to ice that knee. Just do it, right? Allow yourself to come out of this pressure cooker situation and rest and restore and heal. Yeah. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Let's finish up the cards, then we'll get into this in more detail. We have a Princess of Wands. We have a Chariot card, a Three of Cups, and a Queen of Cups. Interesting now. We have the Fire here, but it's sort of giving way to a lot of water, right? Cancer energy, Three of Cups, Queen of Cups, water. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right over here with Simon, alien Simon Mork Ripley, right there on top. Round of applause for ASMR. We're not going to look at that card until the end, though. It will tie everything together, and it will give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's use our intuition. Yeah. Let's take a look around at our cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana energies. Significant, right? Significant. And they kind of tell a story on their own, right? We have the temperance, we have the pressure cooker, and then, of course, the bucket of water that you get dipped into to sort of solidify and to restore that structural integrity, right? Before going back into the fire, right? You got to take a little bit of a break. Coach says, no, you got to go ice that knee before you can play again, before you can get back in the game, okay? And then even here with our magician and our chariot, because the magician is very adaptable. The magician says, I can do it. I know I can do it. You're the star quarterback, right? You're the one that is, you're the best one for the job. You got all the skill, all the knowledge. And you want to do it. And you think, I can do it. It doesn't hurt that bad. I can still play. Right? But then the chariot is kind of saying, well, you've got to hit the road. You got to get out of here. You know, it's in your best interest to do something else. Just because you can adapt to something, just because you can play with a bum knee, doesn't mean you should. Well, I can do it, yeah, but you're probably going to make it worse. What you need is to fortify yourself. So this is the live to fight another day. This is being stronger, recovering, gaining your strength back so you can go kick some butt tomorrow. Right? Just because you can play with that bum knee, it doesn't mean you should, because the long-term consequences. Okay? So I think this is Spirit's way of telling you to ease back, okay? To take this moment to rest. Somebody says, hey, go lay down for a while. You say, no, I got this. I can keep doing it. No, listen. Go lay down for a while, right? Go rest. Go take a break. Go step away from this for a minute. Okay? And it might be that you don't realize how tired, fatigued, or even ill you are. Okay? You don't realize how much pressure this pressure cooker has been exerting on you. You don't really notice because you've adapted, right? Now it just feels like, well, this is life, you know? But once that pressure is removed or relieved, then you think, oh my gosh, this is what life really is supposed to feel like. Hot dog, you know? Because you're in that pressure cooker and you start adapting to that environment. You get used to the pressure. You get used to the gravity of it. You get used to the risk. You get used to the heat of something. And it's not until you're being shown something else and that heat is removed that you sort of realize how intense it really was. Okay? I feel like your life is going to get so much better. Everything's going to get so much better for you. You've got to accept the gift of this rest period, this time away from the heat, right? we've got our major arcana. We've got fire and fire over here. We've got water and water here. And you've got air and air over here. What's missing? Well, the earth energy. Because you're being told not to do anything. There's no behavior needed for you. You're being told to just relax, right? And this is one of those Heisenberg says relax moments. And someone left a comment for me the other day and said, how can the Heisenberg relax help in any way, right? Because it's a reference to Breaking Bad, right? And if you know the show, you know that, Heisenberg says relax. It's just kind of like, it's just laughing. It's like, yeah, right, relax? Who are you kidding? That's not going to happen, And so it's easier said than done, right? We say, go take a break. Go step away from this. Go lie down. Go rest. Go enjoy yourself. Go take a bath. Go do whatever, get a massage. Whatever it is, go do the self-care. It's easier said than done. We're so used to busting our butt that even if we go try to lie down for a while, our mind's going to be racing. We're going to be anxious. We're going to be Princess of Wands. We're going to be looking for other things to do. And, Coach is going to come into the room and be like, what are you doing fixing the radiator or repairing the machines or doing whatever you're doing? You're in here tinkering around. You're supposed to be lying down. And it's because we have this kind of, this anxious energy. We're so used to the pressure. We're so used to the heat, to the sort of hectic, crazy energy. Sometimes we don't know how to relax, right? And that's why Tuco was like, Heisenberg says relax, and it's funny. It's funny telling Tuco to relax. That's the most high-strung guy in the whole show, you know what I mean? So anyway, the Hanged Man is the need for you to accept and to acquiesce and to really not do anything but rest and do the self-care. Yeah, I know that's not easy for you, but this is sort of this is what Spirit's saying that you need to do this week. Do nothing, or as little as possible. Take yourself away from those elements of your life that are causing you the most trouble. Take a step back. Okay. And it's not always easy to do. Sometimes we have obligations, right? Sometimes we have that Seven of Wands back there, which is saying that I'm the only one that can do it. I can't step away. Sometimes we're not able to take a day off work. We're not able to. We don't have the luxury. Many of us don't have the luxury to just sort of stop doing the difficult work and take a day for self-care. Okay? So you're still maintaining your obligations, whatever those non-negotiable things are. Okay? But for all intents and purposes, you're being told to do, let's say, as little as possible. Okay? Allow yourself to heal right now. And I don't know what you're healing from. I don't know what this pressure cooker is for you. There's a lot of stress at work, at home, at school. If it's you've been too busy, you haven't been sleeping enough, that sort of thing. Let's make that the priority. It doesn't mean you got to cancel your entire week or month and do nothing but relax by the pool. It sounds nice. But it's a prioritization of yourself and your self-care. Okay? And this is how we generate a little bit of health and well-being. This is how things are going to get better. Okay? In some ways, it's saying you've got to allow other people to take care of you right now. Yeah. You've got to, and I think you don't like that because it's, no, you're the one that gets things done. You're the one that fights and takes charge. And so in some ways, we try to be Seven of Wands, invincible. But we are not. None of us are, right? So the Seven of Wands becomes the realization that, okay, I cannot keep going at the same speed that I've been going. I do need to slow down. It's kind of a lie down before you fall down kind of thing. You've been burning the candle at both ends here. Okay? And maybe this is just the activity that you've been, the time, the effort, the exertion in your projects, in your work, your career. Maybe it's maybe it's some kind of artistic thing, right? Maybe you've been up very early in the morning and you've been staying up really late at night trying to make some progress on your creative work, right? Whatever it may be. There will come a point where the returns will diminish, where all this effort that you put in, you're putting in 23 hours a day, eventually you're not the results of that effort's going to be less and less and less until you actually start doing damage to whatever this project is. Okay? So if you look at it that way, you can see, okay, now there's a logical reason why you've got to take this time off and rest. You got to just let things sort of flow, because not only are you resting and recovering, but you're also allowing the energy that you've put into the system to sort of settle in. Allowing that energy to sort of crystallize and do what it's doing. You don't want to make too many changes too quickly, right? You've got to let things kind of settle and solidify, right? That's another reason why we don't have any earth energy here today. There's so much activity, things don't actually have a chance to, it's like we're not allowing the glue to dry. You're not allowing the paint to dry. Right, you're already putting on another coat. Now you gotta let it cure. You gotta let the glue really cure, the paint really dry. Give it a couple extra days, right? Same thing with us internally. It's not a waste of time. Doing the self-care is not you doing nothing. It's, in some ways, the self-care stuff is the hardest stuff we do, especially with your kind of ambition, with your kind of self-sacrifice, right? Another aspect of this card. Sometimes our self-sacrifice becomes self-harm. Sometimes we have to focus on ourselves and prioritize our well-being so that we can continue to bust our butt working on this thing. Whatever it is. Yeah, whatever it is. And I think that with our Mercury magician and our Knight of Swords, right? The magician is the one that can adapt, right? And this is down beneath the surface. This is who you are inside of you. You're the magician. You're the one that knows, if I put my will into something, it's going to manifest. Okay? If you're the magician, you're the one on stage, you're required, right? Without you, there is no show, right? Without you, the audience is going to be looking at an empty stage. And so you realize your importance here. And so it's like, I no matter what, even if I'm dying, I've got to make it out on stage. That's a work ethic, right? That's a work ethic. You don't want to let anybody down. Well, you got to lie down before you fall down. Okay? Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you won't be able to get up on stage and keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. So the magician has to realize that yes, you are a very important part of this puzzle, whatever this thing is, whatever your life is. And if you want to continue to be of service and to be useful, you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to prioritize your well-being. Physical, I think really the physical well-being. Because we don't see the earth cards here. It's like you're not even thinking. It's like you don't even remember you have a body. Got to get in touch with our physical nature again. Okay? The magician is the one that can adapt to any situation. You can be in the fire. Yeah, you can adapt to that, sure. But just because you can doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean you even should right now. Okay? And now up above we've got the Knight of Swords, right? Looking to the future. The one that can look logically at the future. Now, if you think about it this way, maybe you'll realize, okay, you got a point there, right? Because otherwise, it's just somebody that's looking at you and saying, you don't look so well. You might want to go lay down. And you're like, how dare you say that about me, right? And so it's not really, but someone's speaking to you logically thinking, look, if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to diminish in your capacity and you're not going to be of any use to anybody. So you better go take care of yourself. Okay? And it makes sense that way. And that's a way that you can say, okay, I get it. That makes sense. It's part of the mission, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you have some sort of military background. Yeah. Because I feel like it has to kind of be like, almost like an order in a way, but more than that, it has to be something that you understand, something that doesn't challenge you, right? It's not so much a pride, I guess it could be kind of a pride thing. But if somebody just says, hey, you look like shit, go lay down, you're going to be offended. If someone says, hey, if you don't take care of yourself, this whole thing is going to fail. We need you, so we need you to be 100%, go lay down. And you think, yes, that makes sense. I got to go take care of myself, you know. And anyway, that's how I feel with the Knight of Swords here. And the Six of Swords is sort of echoing that too, because it's kind of like, okay, it's all part of the plan. It's not idling. You're not sitting here just idling your time away. No, you are resting, recuperating. You're taking care of that knee because, look, you're the star quarterback. We need you. You better go take care of that knee, right? But again, there's no earth energy. It's kind of like you're not even aware that you're playing injured. Does that make sense? And I think we hear about that a lot in sports, that somebody gets through a whole game, doesn't even realize like how in pain they are. Doesn't even realize somebody like has broken a bone or something and they're still playing. They don't even realize it's broken until afterwards. Yeah. And so the self-care, the maintenance, prioritizing yourself now is going to make sure that you don't get taken out of the game, the next game, or the next game, or the whole season. Or let's say, maybe that's just, maybe their career's over, you know. So we have to incorporate that as part of our plan. Six of Swords. The blueprint. Self-care has to be part of your agenda. You've got to schedule it in somewhere. Because without it, this is not going to last. You won't be able to sustain this. Okay? It'll be the diminishing returns. Or it will be, yeah, you may make it through this game, but then you're really doing some serious damage that it's going to take you even longer to recover. You take a little bit of time now, or you do the preventative stuff now to avoid the long-term injuries. You see, now I'm no doctor. To me, this seems common sense. But in practice, it's not that easy. My wife tells me, my wife does tea leaf readings over at Ula, tea leaf readings here on YouTube. Go sub her channel. Tell her I sent you. She tells me, hey, you look terrible. Go lay down. Take a day off. Go rest, right? And I say, no, I can't. I got work to do. I got work to do. You know, I'm fine. Don't tell me I look like crap, you know. But she's right. That has to be part of the routine. You have to make sure you get enough rest. You have to make sure you check in with your body. You have to make sure you have time even for recreation, right? These are not idle things. These are not wastes of time. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment too and let me know how you're doing. Yeah. So your general energy, kind of Princess of Wands. What is this about? This is, I'm fine. I've got a lot of energy. You know, your general energy is one that does not feel sick or injured. I don't feel sick, so I don't need to rest. You know, it's kind of like we're waiting for something to break before we maintain the car. We're waiting for the engine to blow up before we decide to change the oil. Say what now? That's careless. That's reckless, right? And this is an interesting thing because we don't need to take ourselves so delicately. You know, we don't need to spend all day in sort of this recovery and recreation type of period, just so we can go and do a little bit of work, right? It doesn't need to be disproportionate, okay? It needs to be calculated. We have to be reasonable about it. And whether this is talking about your physical energy or your money, right? Because again, there's no pentacles here. So are we talking physical health or financial health, right? That we could look at it from a financial perspective. that we're not doing the conservation or the maintenance of our budget or of our finances, that we're just sort of spending it like it's infinite. Eventually, it's going to run out. Well, just like our physical health, we're not taking care of it, we're not aware of it, we're not being mindful of our physical nature, it's going to run out. Okay? So this is a lot of energy, but this is kind of a reckless energy. It's very impulsive. This is, you're supposed to be resting, but your spouse, your friend, your doctor, your accountant, or your, whoever it is, your coach, comes into the room and sees you just doing all these other things. You're tinkering over here, maybe you're online shopping or something, and it's just like, hey, you're supposed to be resting, and there's going to be like this anger about it, right? Because you have to learn to just kind of let everything go and just stop doing it, allowing things to recover before re-engaging with that work or with whatever whatever it is exactly. But it's hard to do that, especially when we're so used to being in that active, alert, vigilant mode. We're so used to the pressure cooker that it's hard for us to not feel like we're in the pressure cooker, even if we're in this wide open space, right? And there's this lightness, and there's this breeze, and there's this relaxation, and you're sitting by the pool, but you still got that pressure cooker sort of energy about you. So it's not easy. It's not easy. The Chariot card in the position of your environment. So this is kind of that car with the engine, that we've got to do the maintenance on the car. And we can't just, your car's only going to run so long on the same oil and some duct tape, right? Now, I had I think it was a 1974 Volkswagen Beetle. That thing was literally held together with duct tape. And it's no way to go about your life, right? The throttle linkage would break, and I actually had to it broke. I was on the freeway, and I didn't have much with me. I had some rubber bands, I had some duct tape, so I had to rubber band it, duct tape it, and it was okay. I managed to get home. It's good in the moment. It's good to be able, that's kind of part of the magician. It's that ability to MacGyver things. You can use what you have and make the most of it. But we don't want to, it's like you're running on a spare tire. That's not meant to be your permanent daily tire, right? It's just meant to get you safely to the mechanic or home, or your driveway or whatever, right? To the gas station. It's not meant to be a permanent solution. But that's the magician energy. The magician can take whatever is here, whatever I got in front of me, and I can make the most of it. And I can make it work. I can rig something up, and it'll be okay. But it's not meant to be permanent. What we're looking for is the long-term solution. That spare tire is a temporary fix. That rubber band and duct tape is a temporary solution. All right? It's not the permanent. It's not the way I'm trying to always be operating my vehicle, or my body, or my life, or my finances. Yeah. So the Chariot becomes an awareness of the bigger picture. It becomes, okay, what is the sort of long-term thing that I'm trying to do? What are you devoted to? What are you loyal to? And if we remember what our purpose is, what our will is, what the Holy Grail is, what is this precious thing that you're doing with your life, then you'll understand what you've got to do to make sure that you are the best caretaker of this, the best sort of protector of this. I almost want to say like the best servant of this, the servant of the Grail. What is that higher principle that you're serving? Because then that kind of pride goes out the window. We think, yeah, I need to take time for myself. I've got to do the self-care. I'm not being selfish. This is necessary for me to maintain a healthy flow so that I can continue to honor and be loyal to this and be devoted to this and be the very best, whatever you are, as you can, right? as you can be. And then, of course, the next card is our Three of Cups. Well, that's joy. Joy, the obstacle. Celebration. Fun. Recreation. This is the obstacle for you. It's not easy for you to relax. It's not easy for you to just sort of let go of your responsibilities and enjoy the moment. Yeah. And this is kind of like saying, things are going to get so much better for you. You've got to allow that to happen, right? You've got to be willing to feel like, I deserve some downtime. I deserve a day off. I deserve some joy, some pleasure, some abundance, right? Because it's there, it's all around you. We just have to sort of, in your case, kind of schedule it in. Realize that it has to be part of the plan. In order for you to continue doing your will and doing your work, whatever it may be, the joy, the abundance, the love, the connection, the intimacy, the recreation, whatever it is, the rest, the self-care, has to be part of the plan. But it's difficult for you, I think, to kind of experience joy because you feel like you've always got work to do. Now, the Queen of Cups at the end is interesting too, because just as the Knight of any Knight, the Knight of the Tarot, looking at the future, the Queen is looking at the past. So the Knight of Swords is looking at the future and thinking, okay, look, if you continue the way you're going, you're going to break down sooner rather than later. You're going to run out of money sooner rather than later, so you better do something now. Okay? And that's putting it in a way that you understand and you say, okay, that makes sense, yep. Okay? So the Knight is looking at the future and thinking, I see a 10 of Swords in the future if you don't do something different. The way you're going now, you're going to be, you got to make some changes. Otherwise, you're not going to be on stage much longer. The Queen is then looking at the past, right? And it's an emotional thing. It's looking kind of at, well, I think it's trying to find moments in your past where you felt joy, looking at your life and thinking, all this work that you've been doing, all of this effort, all of this struggle, all of this banging your head against a wall and fighting and fighting and fighting and striving, right? Have you been enjoying it? Have you loved your life? Have you enjoyed your life? Right? Because that needs to be part of it. And maybe you're doing something in your life that is very selfless. Maybe you're trying to build a future for your family. Maybe you're trying to create a successful business, and leave something behind. Maybe you're more focused on legacy. Because I do feel that you're the person who is sort of sacrificing their real-time present enjoyment for something more long-term. Okay? And I think that this is us searching within and searching in our past and asking the question, what is it that I really want? Why am I really doing all of this? Right? We've got this devotion. We feel like we're sort of the Knight of the Holy Grail. It's our duty to preserve this, to continue build at great personal sacrifice. That I have to protect and conserve something. But if you want to be the best Grail Knight that you can be, you've got to take care of yourself too, so that you can be around for a long time to do your duty. Yeah. So we have to look at the past and ask ourselves that question, how have I been treating myself? This card is about radical honesty, radical emotional honesty, emotional transparency, radical self-love, self-acceptance, and self-care. We've really got to be introspective here and see if we've been neglecting our own well-being. Okay? And I think we do that by sort of looking at our history. Yeah. Well, let's look at our mystery card. Yeah. I think things are getting so much better for you. All right. I think that you're on this path now of learning how to experience more joy, learning how to focus on self-care, prioritize your well-being, prioritize your health, prioritizing the love, prioritizing the joy, right? So what do we have in the mystery card? Maybe a 9 or a 10 of cups. Maybe the Empress energy. I would love to see the Empress right now. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, 9 of Pentacles, yes. Because this is someone who's really enjoying their life. 9 of Pentacles. You're living your best life. And you are here, you are present, you're living lavish. You're prioritizing. Now, this is earth energy too. You're in touch with your body, right? And I think that's where joy and pleasure starts, in the physical realm. Right? Do things in the physical realm that you enjoy, that feel good. Even if it means you're just sitting on the couch watching a movie, eating some popcorn. Do something in the physical world that feels good for you. Enjoy your life, because you're working so hard for this life. You deserve to enjoy it too. You deserve to, just as that little snail is telling us, right? You deserve to slow down and enjoy your life. Smell the flowers, sample the fruit, right? Yes, you're building something long term. We've got to conserve, we've got to prioritize the health and well-being. Okay. I don't think this has all that much to do with finances necessarily. Okay. Because I feel that this is kind of saying that you need to spend a little money on yourself, you know? That you're working so hard to build something up, you can spend a little bit on you. You can have a little bit of enjoyment. It doesn't have to be extravagant. You don't have to be living lavish like this card. But do something that you enjoy. Treat yourself. You know, try to do one thing every day for you that just feels good. Okay. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There is one down below. New readings for Scorpio, Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.